and I started the AI companion. It is December 12th, 6:03 p.m. I believe we have a quorum, so I'm calling the meeting to order. We have myself, Robert Jensen, president. We have Alan as vice president. We have Joao as treasurer, and we have Alfredo as secretary. And I see Diana just logged in. Diana is director, so full board is present. Any owners who are also here, either in Zoom or in person, I welcome you. Thank you for participating and joining this meeting. We have a lot to cover, so I'm going to get right to it. We took care of points number 1 and 2. Point number 3 is approval of minutes of the meeting from November 16th.
It was, Alfred, did you include the other appendices I sent you? I believe so. So, because there are 2 things of checks, the email to Ekeren Romano, I sent you it's like 4 or 5. Yes, whenever I receive the minutes. But if you say that you're going to include, then it's fine. It's like 5 documents that I sent before. So people have all the checks that were passed and an email. Yeah, that's gonna be, yes. Okay, yeah.
Okay, regarding the minutes, one more thing. We have a drive for the association, and I'm now working on some kind of a mini website so anybody can log in and see everything, basically, including the minutes. So, Alfredo, if you could please upload all the minutes to that drive link that you already have access to it. Sure. Okay, so it's under the Google Drive where it says minutes. You can upload it there. Thank you.
So I'll do a motion to approve the minutes with the
just one thing I wanted to be clear. Point number 20. I was just reading it. It's nothing big. I just want to make sure we're all saying the same thing. It says the discussion about the color of the mansard drip edge and fascia. The drip edge will be dark bronze. The fascia will be white with bronze copying. I think we're saying the same thing, but the cap on the top is also dark bronze. There's not 3 colors. There's 2 times dark bronze, 1 time white. Is that what you're saying, Alfredo?
Confirmed, Alfredo.
Confirmed? Okay. I didn't hear it. Then that's all I had on that.
So we do a motion to approve with all the appendices I sent to Alfredo.
I second your motion.
Anybody against? Okay, everybody approved. Anybody against? No, so everybody pro.
So that takes care of point number 3. Point number 4, treasurer's report.
Okay, let me just give some comments. Okay, I'll try to be as fast as I can, but there's a lot of topics to discuss. So, enumerate bookkeeping. The first thing is that October financial statements have been provided, and after a preliminary review from the Treasury, I sent again their current ledgers show the first 4 months of Primex that they put everything in maintenance, and that means that $80-something thousand are there incorrectly. And the following budget allocations as previously decided by the board. We have decided there will be $50,000 for the floodings and drywall, and another $50,000 for the 50 years inspection. They still don't put those $50,000 there, which means that all the money we've been spending on the 50 years inspection and the dry walls, it's still not there. The same thing with the roofs project, I believe. So they need to put those things on the budget. And most importantly, before the end of the year, they need to do the allocation of maintenance. I already forgot how many emails we already sent to enumerate, not only me, also Robert. We have no answer from their side. And when we do these, then the statements will be much more accurate. The November financial statements are pending some invoices. So Robert, I sent you that. So they are pending, once again, a couple of invoices. The ones that are more hard to get probably are the insurance ones, the ones that you needed to do additional payments to get to the final coverage. Are you okay? But I sent you an email. So as soon as possible, so we still have time then to revise the November whenever they send us would be great. And then the third point about the bookkeeping is that the delinquency report on November 30, there were 7 unit owners in arrears, same number as last month, with an overall figure of 25,108.28, additional 2,663.58, but with only 2 units with over 90 days balance, which had 87.1% of the total balance in arrears. These are the 2 problematic units. But we have received from our attorneys the check regarding one of these units that was immediately sent to enumerate. So good news, one of those units that were a long time in arrears. The other one is one of the topics we're going to discuss today about a selling of a unit. So I believe things are moving into a very good position in terms of accounts receivable. Now, any question or comments regarding enumerate bookkeeping? And obviously, all of this is inside of the next minute. So no part, okay. Second point, second special assessment loan status. So on the month of November, we have paid, by the way, 3 loan advancements. And 13th of November, 4,250 to CEFED about the enclosures legalization. On 13th, the same day, 71,960 to Roof Technologies. And 25 of November, 195,982.76 also to Roof Technologies. These were 2 checks, and they are always requesting a check before starting, and then a check for great percentage of completion by each one of the roofs. This has been controlled by Robert and Alan, and then we meet the checks. Until now, it looks very alike, or if completely alike the contract. And I will also discuss one of the points we have here regarding the budget. Any question about the loan status, which, by the way, we're going to detail a little bit more in a couple of minutes?
No.
Okay. Auditing process. Auditors have sent a representation letter that has been revised by the president and the treasurer, which are the 2 people that need to revise that letter. I already shared with everybody. And we sent to the auditor the following proposed changes, which awaits auditor's confirmation. By the way, we just received that email answer. So what we were saying is that there was an old wording that said we have no knowledge of any fraud or suspected fraud that affects association and involves management, employees, and others. We have no knowledge of allegation of fraud or suspected fraud affecting the association financial statements, etc. And we have no knowledge of any instance of non-compliance or suspected non-compliance. We proposed a new wording. The auditor is now sent us a new wording. As soon as we close the wording, and especially because the $134,000, that is a non-compliance. And by the way, primary slide when said the auditor told to do that movement. So we are not comfortable to say there's nothing here. So the auditor already sent another text. We are trying to affine so we don't compromise ourselves with saying something that it's not definitely true. And whenever we have the final text, we're going to share with everybody. The next steps is to receive the final 2022 report. As soon as we get the final text and me and Robert assign after the approval of the board, we receive the final 2022 report. We also would set the taxes, 2022 taxes. So they already compromised by doing that completely free. So doing the taxes of 2022, schedule a meeting with auditors like we have already decided to understand next steps, especially in terms of the implications of the auditing we just received, and start the 2023 auditing process that I believe it will be much easier because it's much closer than the 2022 was. But let's see. And we already have a lot of information already shared with the auditor regarding the 2023. Any comment or question regarding the auditing process? Okay. Additional decisions that have been taken upon, this is point number 4. The checks that are approved and signed by the BOD in document appendix to this report. You always receive all the checks that we've signed. There are 2 signatures always in the check. The process always have 3 people approving these within the system, and everybody in the board receives the request of any check. And now I'm gonna ask for the papers back. My copy. Okay, so I've sent to you, so this is not an obligation as I believe, but I did it the same way as the last board did it. I did a first draft of a budget. And before going there, for the ones that are remote, please go to one sheet of the Excel I've sent that is roofs project, eye level, status, and estimates. Once again, if you go to the Excel and you have it also the page, this is that page, okay? And Alfred, this is the roofs, if you want to go to see. Roofs project, eye level, status, and estimates. So we have a total loan of $1.2 million. What is the number that we have below that? That is the estimate of where we are if we are not having any type of other surprise until the end of the project. The project will be completed as 1.225047.48. If you look at the roofer, all the values that have a count on the right side are values that we already pay, and still to pay is $355,366.78. Because of what? The initial contract is $1,072,547. There was a change order of $1,750, another change order of $1,610. These were related with shingles. And so we already paid under this contract $720, $540, $22. If we look at the DROMA we already pay $41,250, and the second invoice is going to be from the $41,20 to $150. And remember, this has 2 things. One is the intervention on building 1 in terms of the mansards. The second thing is the parapet wall on the unit 29. That will be repaid back. So I take out that value, as you can see on the DROMA. The other thing was the stucco. I put here an estimate. It's still not concretized, but I put here an estimate of the stucco. And then we also paid $4,250 for a last permit that is already inside of this project, in terms of the 1.2 million. And there's a second invoice coming of $750. If we add all of these values, it ends up with $1,225,000, which means that if we don't have any more surprise until the end of the project, we are now underwater $25,000 that we need to have funds to cover for the $25,000. So is it clear until now? And this is to have an estimate about, okay, what we need to cover and what are the funds we still have in Valley Bank, which is our own unique bank that was reported to us that we had accounts. And so we have a $25,000 that we need to cover until the end of the project if no surprises are there. Is it clear? By the way, all of these will be sent to the secretary to head. And this is a photograph for the next board to navigate along the project.
So the repayment of the amount from the 1 unit that is already included in the 1.225.
It is included as a negative value, meaning that if we
Otherwise, it would have been 134.
124, 100%. Yes.
Okay.
The building 1, 4, Clubhouse.
Okay, the building 1 and 4, you're going to see here, there's an estimate that I took also because that will be another plus that we need to calculate 100% for next year. So it's not going to be the next page. Yes, so that's not part of this. This is just the contract we have with the roof, everything around the roofer and the credit we took out from, not the credit, the line of credit we took from Valley Bank, and that will convert into a loan and it will be paid along 15 years or lump sum by the owners, which is the contract we have with them. But no, 2 and 3 and the roofs of 1, 4 and Clubhouse. So the only thing that is missing here is the shingles that I'm going to talk now. Yes. The shingles are going to be separate, like we saw, and I have an estimate here of the shingles, because what I wanted is to say, look, besides what we already have ongoing, there's still other things. From this first, which is the roofs, we have $25,000 already that we know. If we add everything that we need to pay, we have $25,000 to cover for this, which is a very small delta in terms of difference compared with any type of deviation of project we have seen in the past in this neighborhood. But obviously, we are still not there. So we still need to finalize the roofs, go to the roof number 3, etc. And now I'm going to talk about other expenses that we are starting to compromise ourselves, that we need also to have funds to cover. We still have obviously funds on our bank, but we need to be transparent about that, like we've been always. Yes, so if you go now to the second page, which starts with water remediation, in your Excel is a water remediation. So what you're going to find out, and thank you, Ron, for rapidly, and there's so many emails that sometimes I need to confirm, etc. So we have here all the units that reported water remediation. As I told Ron in the email, this is still a preliminary assessment. We are still not compromising here, but let's assume that we are compromising to the entire value. This would be $33,524.52.
That's only for water remediation.
Water remediation. And we're talking about here the units that we know for sure did water remediation. Not only that reported right now, in the case of Ron or the case of John, they did water remediation, and you sent me the email a long time ago. So I have everything recorded in 5 folders. And so I pick it up this value. Once again, we are not saying we are compromising. We are just saying that if we're going to pay the water remediation, which, by the way, this board already inclined to do it, this is $33,524.52 at less, because we have one unit that we still to be defined what is going to be the intervention. So what I want to ask here is that, is there any question or comment of the approach I'm following? So from the roofs is $25,000, for the water remediation, $33,524.552.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
I have a question, it's Angela.
I know.
I see you're mentioning Robert and John. And you didn't
There's
mention
more.
mine.
Yeah, so yours is still to be defined. So we have 5 units. Yours is one of them, but the amount is still to be defined, because what we are asking right now is for water remediation initiatives. So it has to do with 911 restoration, Surf Pro. But the board, whenever it takes a decision, because we already have also your amounts, but your unit 25 is also here, though the amount is still to be defined accordingly to the criteria we have defined. But your unit is here.
And the mold is included there.
No, I didn't say that. I'm saying that you're still to be defined accordingly to the criteria we have defined. But your unit is here. Tell me.
When is that going to be defined, if I can ask?
I hope as soon as possible. Right now, we are now, as you know, securing the roof. So right now is the moment that we are taking all this information from all the owners to take a wise decision about it without investing in something that we would need to invest afterwards. But I hope as soon as possible. And
Okay.
it's not only, as you know, this is our last meeting as a board. There will be a new board next year. And so I cannot compromise with the timing or any of the people here, but I would say that we have...
I understand. I've just been waiting for almost a year now, and it's very stressing for me to be waiting. That's why I'm asking again.
Understood. And thank you, Angela. The second point is related with the shingles. So I took an estimate, and the estimate, so I went to the bids that were done for the shingles. And if we look at the shingles of building 1, building 4, Clubhouse, and take these numbers with a lot of grains of salt, because this was the most expensive proposal we got. If we add the shingles or the reshingle of all of these, building 1, Clubhouse, building 4, electrical room, this is $142 and $100. So this is just an estimate, like any other, but it gives us a notion of how much money we would need for that. If we look all the expenses I've been saying, so you have 25,000 coming from the roofs, we have 33,524 coming from water remediation, and we have 142 for reshingles. The total is around 672. If we add up right now, and people here have also this, and we're going to send it obviously also through our minutes. Our operating account right now is 66,470, the special assessment account 14,000, the money market 52, the others, if we don't consider the 4,500 of the tenant, is around 14,000, and accounts receivable 37, and because we are still considering one of the units in arrears, so it's the 37 that accommodates not only the November 30, but also the people that are now in arrears in December. We are talking about 194,000. This is the money we have in banks, in accounts receivable. Compared with what? The money we know we need for doing the shingles, the repayment. We still don't have here, for example, the drywalls. And I sent you an email, Alfredo, to know. So I want to introduce also the drywalls. But even just considering these values, we are already $6,000 underwater without any penny or cents on the banks. So if we do everything that is here with the money we have on the banks, it's no longer any cent in the banks. And I want everybody to remind these, because that would be a very strange situation for any board to manage. It's like, okay, dire straits, no other funds. So can you remind me what was the drywalls eye level estimate? No, you don't. Okay. So we still need to add here the drywalls, which is our responsibility. And so when we are now looking to the operating budget,
with any pipe and what is the outcome?
okay. Alfredo, I think, Robert, I don't think you listened to Alfredo because he's far away from but he's telling that we probably don't have the final numbers from NV5. I remember seeing an email from NV5. Do you know if they already concluded the drywalls estimate costs?
They sent the calculations and sort of the rough order of magnitude is what it's called. But that was on a per square foot basis. That wasn't.
The email that we received from NV5, everybody's in that email. I remember there was by 1 month ago or something like that, but they always sent to everybody.
The numbers I see.
Every board member has that email.
Okay, but you remember the figure, but we can check it. Once again, this is to say, look, this is the amount of money that we still need to pay, or obviously if we do the shingles a little bit later, this is a big amount of that, but we all have to compromise that we have to reshingle. And this is like a segue for the budget, because the budget is to say, look, now let's look to the operating costs, okay? And so what you have in front of you in the proposed operating budget for 2025 is assuming as an income that we once again don't move the maintenance fee. So the 343,794.48 is exactly the same value this year, is the same value as last year, and this is the value we are considering. Then throughout the 2025, I'm not going through each one, and then you have comments and questions on the right side. We already asked also for help for enumerate. We haven't received an answer, and we already repeated the email, even Oscar within the enumerate send these. So you're going to see each one of the lines there. What I asked for all the board members, this should be a collaborative exercise. And obviously this is something that we give for the next board, but it should be collaborative. So please revise these calculations, put your questions. This is not only, and by the way, I also shared the financial statements, the latest from Enumerate. Look at these, pose questions, say, okay, we are missing these. I think we are very close from the values we have right now.
Management services.
No, right now, no, 100%. Yes, because this year we didn't have management services. What is considered right now in the 9,000 is an allocation for that property manager number of hours is in the Excel. So it's like 750 or 800 per month. I can check it here.
750.
So 750, exactly, 750 along 12 months. So please question, input, change, or ask me to change, because the objective is what? We understand that we already have less money that we need in the banks. And by the way, I told this since the first meeting, we were in a disastrous situation, even with the funds we had in Valley. The second thing is that I would always recommend Leeward Point to have a little bit of money, though we need to understand with enumerate and the attorneys, how can we, if we need to constitute reserve, because from my understanding, for all the conversations we've been having, if we're going to put some money on the side, it needs to be reserves. And if for reserves, for what? So we need to clarify that. But even before that, let's revise these numbers. And I would recommend everybody, this is not a lot of time. You look at the financial statements, you look at where we are. It's October, it's easy, divide by 10, multiply by 12, some of them, and then start to see if these numbers match. And at the end of the day, see, okay, but we are missing here, this, that, and that. Remembering this is just the operating, all the others, investments like shingles, etc. I'm not considering these operating. I'm considering these one-time projects that we are not doing every month. So are we okay of revising and inputting? Everybody has the Excel. You're going to receive, all the owners will receive also and by the way, all the owners also to input. By the way, we have no increase of money here, both for the gardener and the handyman. I will propose an increase. I don't think it's fair. Once again, we don't increase our working force, but this right now is considering very moderate, the lean things. Is it clear?
Yeah.
And did you understand why I started by this? Because this is saying, look, this is everything that is coming on. This is the money we have in the bank. And so we need to somehow look at that. Okay. Any question, any comments?
Great
Basically,
start.
we are, yeah, it's a good start. So we are almost $22,000 minus according to this budget for next year. And that doesn't include the driveway.
Yes, it doesn't include and by the way, the 21 plus the 6,000 that we already have is 27. Plus, so this is just the operating, and plus the dry walls will be much more. Obviously, we can always have the dry walls, for example, as a special assessment like we did the electric rooms or something like that. But I would say it's time to start to have proper reserves. But like you said, we need to have a process for that. It needs to be legalized with enumerating our attorneys, and this is what we need to follow. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, my final points. I'm sorry. November financial statements are pending some invoices. So Robert, whenever possible, the things the other ones I think are easy to find on your side. The one that probably is harder is the insurance, the deltas or the totals. So the second thing is sending a formal letter to above mentioned remaining owners. There's only one owner that gets a little bit like a bigger. So we're going to send once again, if you don't disagree, a letter to the owners in arrears, which by the way are only 5, and 3 of them is almost a ridiculous amount. So I don't even think that we shouldn't spend money with that. But okay. Okay, once again, the Leeward Point lawsuit figures. We're not going to move. I think it's the last meeting of the year. We already have this estimate from the owners in terms of the water intrusion. We still don't have the dry walls. But once again, I would recommend that we move something regarding with the Absolute Pro lawsuit, or we wait for the new board. But we have everything prepared. We have an Excel. We have all the lines, etc. We still have this pending. We have another time. We have. I know. Manela.
Yeah, and by the way, if we do go for lawsuit, that money should be also calculated. But yeah, I think that this board needs to make that decision before, before the next board.
Right now, I start to have a different opinion in terms of these. We are now in the last 2 weeks of the year, so this is such a big decision that we are ending our mandate. I would say probably the new board, we have everything prepared. I don't know.
But the last questionnaire, the last mention, it's already.
There's an Excel. I built this Excel. This Excel I hope was revised by you. I don't know. We should proceed. So Robert, people are saying to proceed. We should set a meeting.
Yeah, and we had the deadline from the board to update their input.
It's months, so yeah. Next. Yeah. Yeah, so Robert?
Yeah, no, we had everyone on the board had the deadline to input their own data and numbers, and that deadline has passed. So in principle, we are ready to send that Excel sheet to the lawyers if the board so decides.
Okay, so I'll input the water remediation and I will ask you to tell me the estimate for dry walls. We put it right now as an estimate and we send it as is.
Yeah,
Okay.
I already fetched the email. Fingers for calculation, like less than 15 square feet, more than 1,500, 100 and 300. And there's only plot number. Somebody needs to actually go there and calculate the calculation.
Okay, okay.
Are we,
So if you send Excel, you can send me and I do the Excel.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
are we doing the motion?
Okay, so I do the motion.
Can I add something?
Excuse me?
I'm sorry, if when you finish, I can ask something about the water remediation.
Oh, sure.
Okay, no, my question is for the people who had intrusion of water that still didn't went to the board asking for remediation, it's still gonna be time, like, because in our case, unit 23, we didn't open anything yet. We're waiting to finish the roof to see how much damage is gonna be, because we have also water intrusion there.
No, thank you for that point and for the clarification. And you're right. And this is what we call the dry walls repair. So replacement of the dry walls, which is on our side. When we're talking about water remediation was during November, where there was a massive floodings, like a lot of units. Some of the
Yes.
units call water remediation like 911 or Surf Pro or Circle. And so these are type of companies that comes with the ventoinhas and
okay, yeah.
blowers, you know. And but we are responsible definitely for the dry walls. And like we were saying before, but great to clarify, which is we are only comfortable starting right now when we have the new roofs and the TPO, etc., to do the replacement. So we're not replaced several times and we don't duplicate the cost. So yes, that cost will come on the side of the board very soon, I hope, because I hope we terminate the roofs also very soon. But thank you for your question.
Okay, perfect.
What is it? You can put in a motion.
So I'm putting a motion that I will add the water resolution cost that we have until now in an estimate that I will calculate and circulate among you with the numbers that Alfredo is going to send me inside of the Excel. And immediately after we set it, we can already set the meeting with the attorneys to understand how do we move with the lawsuits and estimates of costs, etc., because we need to put it in the budget.
So basically, the motion is to sue the previous report.
To sue the previous roofer according to the costs that we're going to receive, yes.
Second.
Anybody against?
agree.
All right.
Okay, perfect.
So there was a motion to basically proceed with the lawsuit against the previous roofer. Just clarifying for the AI.
Perfect. And then finally, I don't know if Carlos is comfortable with the ACH. He didn't talk with me. So we get the ACH forever. He's comfortable with the check like it is. He's comfortable with the check. Okay, so I'm gonna take out.
See that the secret.
Yeah, I know. I know, but I will start to ask like in the beginning of the month because the timings are horrible. Okay, yeah. But he already received because I checked with him. He received like on the 5th instead of the beginning. Okay,
And even figured it.
perfect. Guys, I know it was long, but thank you so much. And my point is done.
Thank you, Joao. Appreciate all the work that you do and put on that. As I said, I'll get you those invoices to close out November, and then we'll also forward the information to the lawyers. So point number 5, second notice of annual meeting. We have passed the deadline for anyone to submit their nomination to be considered for the board. That was November 28th. Our annual meeting is January 7th. And we will be sending out the second notice of the annual meeting with the ballots and proxies for the 2025 Board of Directors election. Those will be mailed out prior to 12/24, December 24th. You might receive it after that, but it will be mailed prior to that point. So that is point number 5, unless someone else had a comment or question on that. Okay. Then point number 6, wind coverage. We are working simultaneously with the insurance agent, but also in connection to the roofs. We are happy to see that the roofs are moving along quickly. Citizens wrote us an issue of non-renewal, and we are working out very quickly to get the roofs done or in a state where they are close to being done and finalized so that we can resend the application back to citizens to get that coverage going. Any questions or comments on that?
Flat, you said? Which one?
Wind
coverage.
When?
Okay. Updates on roof project. As Joao has mentioned in the treasury report, at least in terms of some of the, and Alan, I'll ask you to add some information on the end of this, but the roofers are substantially completed. Roofs number 2, 4, and 1. They are probably doing still some detailed work on 1. They are getting close to starting on building number 3. The holdup on 3 were a couple different things. One being a couple enclosures, but more importantly than that, at least in terms of the short term, was a parapet wall. We have reached out to the owner of that unit, and he has agreed to the terms. And so and I'll connect this back to building number 1 in just a second. So the roofer feels confident with that agreement in place that the parapet wall being built, that they can go ahead and get started on building number 3. Why is that connected with building number 1? There was a small section of building number 1 where the trusses needed to be replaced. It was not the whole building, just one specific section. Alan was able to get out a contractor. We talked with a couple different people, and this contractor stepped up, came out, looked at them the same day, provided a proposal, and we spoke with the unit owner above that or underneath those trusses, and he was amicable in terms of the process that would be needed in order to get those trusses rebuilt. And so that same contractor will then be building the parapet wall according to the architects and engineers' drawings on building 3. So while it has been very difficult to find contractors who would be able to commit to doing the parapet wall in building 3, this contractor was both able to focus on the trusses and the mansard on building 1, and then switch over to the parapet wall on building number 3. Alan, anything you want to add?
And so I'm going to just add, just how we're advancing. So yeah, to add the details, we had a problem in building number 1. Termites basically destroyed the whole section of the mansard that was really hanging by a thread on top of unit 1 and 2. So that had to be addressed immediately as an emergency fix. So as Robert mentioned, we got a contractor that was ready to start, and he gave us a fair price. And also we managed to include the top of building number 3, the the corner section that needed to be fixed, which we had a really hard time to find a GC to do that because it's a very small amount and they don't want to take the responsibility and deal with that for that amount. So it came out good that we managed to put everything under the same contract with the same GC and get this going. So this new GC is working, you know, with the good coordination with the roofer. So up until now, we contracted them, I think it was Friday, and they already started working the next day fabricating trusses here. So they're doing a good job and they're advancing. And the other good thing is that up until now, building number 2, 4, and 1, we feel more comfortable now with the mansards, knowing that there's no more termites and there's no more rotten trusses. So that means that it's going to be easier for us to take the decision to do the shingles for building 1 and 4, because one of the fears we had was, you know, if we start opening and we see that everything is rotten, then we have to change all the mansards, which is the most expensive part of the roof. So now we know that they are not. So next year we'll be able to address that in a better way. So next week the roofer is moving to building number 3. We're going to start with basically tearing off the roof and putting a temporary roof on the flat part of the roof. That's basically it.
An incident that was reported to me 4 days ago, 39, that you were fully aware of it. The roofers were working on the vent stop, and one of the pipe, fall into one of the bathroom unit 9, and it broke the ceiling, and there were also a penetration that wasn't sealed properly because they changed the layout, and the contractor, I assume they were, doing something, regarding to ventilation. It seems that the unit owner made several complaints, and we step out and we reassess the issue, and the contractor resolved to close the penetration because that penetration wasn't really needed. It was actually, bringing new lights into the bathroom, and that penetration, it's not required. So it means like the layout was completely changed inside, and what they were already, aware after the contractor went to the roof and saw the situation that happened. So that's already taken care of.
Yeah. So unit 9.
I wanted to encourage us, to make sure that the unit owner was actually hearing from the situation that it was completely resolved.
Yeah. So that was completely sealed, as Alfredo mentioned, and there's no more ventilation coming out of that section of that unit. All right. We need to. What's the next point?
Are
Unit
you
29 roof.
I think we are done. We need to get to the stucco, so I don't know if that's this right now or later.
Let me see.
No, it was 10.
That's point number 10. Let's go through the order and we'll come back to that.
Yeah, okay, but anybody here has any question about the roofs? Minorities, go ahead. So next week they're starting the flat roof on number 3. So, and they're moving fast. So I would say a couple of weeks, maybe the flat roof is going to be done. Yeah, middle of January. The problem in your building would be the the enclosures. We cannot give you an answer how long it's gonna take. If there's no other questions about roofs, let's move on to the next point.
Oh, can I ask a question?
Yeah,
Well, it's more of a comment. I wanted to thank the board, and I guess especially Alan, because I think he took the lead on this to resolve that issue with the termites and the rebuilding of that section. I do believe that you did it in a very efficient manner, because I was concerned that too much of the roof would be open, but they seem to have gotten it together pretty quickly, opening, closing, and then sealing up the areas. So I truly do appreciate that, and I know it's difficult to have it happen so quickly, but I don't know how you pulled it off, but thank you. And
Thank you.
hopefully the wind this weekend and the rain won't cause any issues. There's just a little section exposed, but I think they've approached it very well. So thank you, the board, and thank you, Alan.
Sure, you're welcome. Any other question?
Yes, hi, this is Natalie. Hi, everyone. I
Hey,
also want to piggyback off of that and say thank you. I finally have been able to sleep the last few weeks, so I appreciate it. I just have one outstanding situation on my unit and Diana's unit. I don't know if you guys remember, a few months back, the other board had decided to remove our vents without notifying us, and then you guys cleared for us to get those vents, remember, replaced. So somebody, I don't know who, because, God knows, only the board knew, me and Diana, but somebody called the city right after that and reported it. And I know this because I have been in contact for months with the city on this. And unfortunately, they are telling me that the only person that can clear this up with them has to be the roof contractor or somebody that is in charge of the project, to explain to them, that we have permits for the work that's being done on the roof, and this was not something done like that. Diana and I didn't remove that vent and do it on our own in order for those violations to be cleared. So technically right now, for months, Diana and I still have an outstanding violation because of that from the old contractor.
Okay, but just remind me one thing, the vents are still there, it's still open, no? Obviously they put a new cap and everything, or it was completely removed?
The old contractor, I don't know if Diana knows, I don't know, but from what I understand, the old contractor was given the okay by somebody, we don't know who, to completely remove them, which is why for like almost 3 months, we couldn't do laundry or anything. Clothes had to be hung because we didn't have access to the vents. And then that's when we reached out.
But now you can do laundry, so that means that you do have a vent.
Correct, but when the board is the one, remember, that paid for that to be replaced, but when that work got done, apparently somebody notified the city that Diana and I supposedly had gotten that removed and replaced without permits and had what's called unopened construction. I don't know exactly technical terms what it is, which is not the case. And we need to be able to get that cleared. And I have been in contact.
Can I make a recommendation, Natalie? Because can you talk with Alan on a day that the roofer is here and the three of you talk and sort of explain this scenario?
Yeah, of course.
Because I believe the roofer will be the one that goes to the city.
Correct. So I've been in contact with a lady named Kesha in North Miami Beach. She's in charge of the permits. And the inspector that issued the violation, his name is John Pierre. And she told me that as long as the new roofing contractor goes and makes it right, that it's possible that they could clear it. But if they don't, then that new roof contractor would have to request on behalf of the project what's called an after the fact permit for those vents. But in reality, we really didn't do anything. So I think it just more needs to be cleared up with them, because I'm not sure who decided to call.
The citation number let the contractor handle it, because that work is already, like redone. So this is already new, and this is on the contractor's side. So they will be able to square this out for you without no problem.
Yeah, so
Okay,
Natalie,
perfect.
so Natalie, give us the violation, like Alfredo just said, and write us an email explanation with everything that you just mentioned. And
Okay.
then, once we have it in writing, then we'll give it to the roofer, and the roofer will handle it, hopefully, in a timely manner. But please make sure that yours and Diana's, so because it was together, so we can do it in one shot, okay?
Okay, yeah, I'll send you guys everybody that I've been talking to with the city, so you guys know exactly, or the roofer will know exactly who to talk to.
Okay.
Thank you. I've been trying to resolve it to not bother you guys, but it's been pretty impossible on my own to get it done.
No
So
worries.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, what's the next point?
Okay, Unit 29 refund contract and Unit 23, 25 letters. And I think this goes together with point number 9, update on roof and permitting issues for enclosures on 23 and 25 and 29.
Before regarding the refund contract, we already mentioned these, Robert. I will motion to give a couple of days for us to revise as the board and to send the SAP to the unit owner of the unit 29. Because as soon as possible, we need to send this to enumerate for them to allocate for the next year the payments as accordingly to the agreement we've done.
Let's explain what's the agreement and what it's for.
Well, Robert already did. So
Yeah, so
explain it.
Robert, do you want to give a quick recap of the specific agreement with the Unit 29?
Yeah, so Unit 29, there was a parapet wall on the corner, on the, what is that, the northwest corner of Building 3. And from what I understand, the old engineer and the old contractor removed that wall. Now, I don't know the specifics to that, and I'm not necessarily asking for those specifics, but that's just how we understand that to be. So there's a combination of owner responsibility and association responsibility, in that the mansard is the association's responsibility, and the wall that was there, because there was an enclosure, even though that unit owner bought it that way, the wall is the responsibility of the owner. So, like I said earlier, we reached out, spoke with that unit owner, explained the situation, talked about the process that we've went through, and trying to, as Alan said, trying to find contractors that will do a little job, but with high risk potential. We did get various bids in, but with the mansard on unit 1, on building 1, he looked at the parapet wall, and because he would already have a team out and working, he actually provided a better deal than what that was happening before. So our agreement with the unit owner, because time is of the essence and we cannot wait for, nothing can be done on building 3 unless there's a clear end sight with that wall being built. Otherwise, there's no way for the roofer to finish off the roof on that end of the building. And the roofer and us do not want to go through the potential risk of laying down the brand new roof without it being secured and watertight, only to have water seep in from the side or underneath it and ruin the whole roof of the building. So with that in mind, then going through that, there's a, I don't know whether you'd say minor or medium-sized expense that the owner is responsible for, in which we are, as the board, we are taking care of the fronting the payment, and that owner is repaying that back on a monthly basis through 2025.
The amount is 9,250,
Correct.
right? All right. So we need to approve it, no?
I would say I haven't had the time to read the contract, but if we can revise it like until the end of the day of tomorrow, then we send it to the approval to the attorneys.
I mean,
That is-
I think we can vote because we know what's the amount. We know it's 9,250, and we know that it's going to be returned in what's
12 months.
in 12 months. So these are the
The contract, are you clear with that? Because I'm not.
so the
I am, because you are also, we set down the 29. We sat down and said, look, this is the cost of the parapet. You can pay in 12 payments, or you can pay lump sum. That agreement was tailored by our attorneys. We have now in our emails, and you also have the letter that was received from sent by the attorneys. We need to just check the letter, and if it's not everything perfect, and then make it signed by Robert or by you and by the unit owner of the 29, and then it's already legal and then we need to send it to enumerate, because enumerate needs now start to charge, besides the special assessment and the maintenance fee, they need to start to charge these accordingly to the 12 payments of 2025.
Will be only a matter of revising the
wording, if there's something, there's always a minor thing that we see.
but overall, the general
Yeah.
idea is that it's 9,250
Divided by 12.
12 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
it's going to be.
So you want to make a motion?
I do a motion, yes, to approve to revise and approve the contract, and then to send it to the unit owner to be signed. Probably we sign it first and then we send it.
Okay, I second.
Anybody against?
Okay, approved. Very good.
Then we have the letters.
Perfect. Yeah. So now let's discuss unit 23 and 25, the enclosures. And I think we have the unit owners here as well. And Cesar is here as well. So Cesar, would you like to give everybody an update on the permits, on what's going on?
Yes, Alan, how you doing? Yeah, we already submit the permit
Hey.
to the city of North Miami Beach.
You are
But
cutting off.
I'm sorry? You hear me?
You are cutting off. You are cutting off. Sandra Conejo's husband.
And he's,
Uh-huh.
So you are cutting off.
I know.
Cesar. Ismael de Rosario is the GC that is.
No, but Cesar is the unit owner.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Okay.
you hear me better?
Yeah, now we hear you better.
Okay. So I was saying, we submitted already the application for our unit and Angela units on the city of North Miami Beach. After we submitted, they replied that we need to go first to the Miami-Dade. We already apply a Miami-Dade, we pay the front fees, and it's already almost done. The only thing we need, I'm waiting for on the Angela unit, the decision on the fire department, because apparently we need to do a revision of the plan because they want us to show the fire route and resubmit it. And I think that will be done and then go to City of Miami Beach. I think if the way it's moving, I see fast, maybe by the end of the month, we have the permits between both cities.
And are you ready to start the moment they give the approval? Are you ready to start with the demolition and
Yeah.
reconstruction?
As soon everything is done, we need to maybe wait the holiday pass and talk with the person who is renting our unit, also to see how we wanna do, because we have to seal The right way to do it is almost you have to demolish the roof and demolish almost all the windows, everything to be done in the right way. And we need to seal the master bedroom until the work is done. But I think it's gonna be quick. I think we
Okay, thank
start
you.
maybe after the 5th of January, maybe by the end of January can be done. Something that depending on the manufacturer of the window, how long take, but we need to also put everything that in consideration. It's not a big job, it's very easy.
Yeah, but at least even if the windows are still not there, as far as we have the frame and, you know, and the roof part, at least the roofer can continue with the mansard.
Yes,
And
yes.
if we will get the windows later, it's not a big deal.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
I
Okay,
have a question. They are putting like the TPO with the white thing, correct?
yes.
So these will then roll over that area, so they are.
Well, they don't have a problem with the TPO for in regards to the enclosures, because those enclosures, they use the same parapet wall. So there's no really problem with the flat roof in that section. The only problem is with the mansard in that section. They cannot finish the,
Will it stay on the same business?
I say that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that they do the same, no, there's no more.
Yeah.
yeah. So So the perimeter wall is, they never change it. It's the same one.
And then the parapet is like inclination.
And then the inclination is,
Okay.
yes, exactly. Okay?
So it's not gonna be like putting a PO over the PO.
No, it's gonna be fine. And, so that was unit 23 and 25 regarding the permits. Now, Angela, are you also ready to start immediately once the permits are done? Angela, are you there?
Hear me?
Yes. Now we can hear you.
Hello?
Yeah. Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes, I think I am. I'm just waiting for basically a formal reply from the board about my invoices, because this is the day that I haven't get a formal reply from you. And it's been over a year. I've been asking in several emails about my case, and you're just telling me to wait. And I honestly don't understand. What are we waiting?
So
So
in
I'm
your
willing,
case,
I'm willing to cooperate, but I don't understand why you have me waiting. But everybody's
we
in a
had
rush for their things. So
Angela, everybody's in a rush, including, we definitely understand.
mhm.
In your case, like in most cases, the only thing that was approved by the board is the drywalls. So the drywalls, according to the calculation we mentioned, that's what you're going to be refunded on. You're going to be paid for the drywalls. So
Okay,
that's the answer. That's the answer on that. Now, the reason why you didn't get the drywalls already, which we already mentioned it in this call, Joao mentioned it, is that until the roofs are not watertight, and roof number 3 is not watertight, we're not gonna pay out for drywalls. You're gonna go do the drywalls, then suddenly there's rain tomorrow, it gets wet again, and you will ask again to pay for drywall. So we're not paying anybody for drywall until until the roofer gives us the warranty that it's watertight.
Okay, and what is the reason that you're not paying for the mold? Because I asked before and I understood from Joao that they were waiting, or I didn't really quite understood what they were waiting. And now you're saying they're not gonna pay for the mold, when this is something that I got because of negligence of hiring this roof company, and then from the board telling me to wait to fix my house. And now you're not responsible.
So, Angela, let me repeat what I said before, and nice to clarify these. In your case, what I have in the Excel spreadsheet is to be defined. So it's not clear still in between the drywalls and the mold, what is going to be the decision. But it's not a decision that is closed yet. And it's now it's the moment that we are doing all these calculations, like Alan is saying, because it's the moment that we are ready within the roofs, or we are starting to be ready within the roofs to do the works. And that was the moment we are
Okay,
taking those
I wanna
decisions.
understand this clear, because you're saying
Mhm.
that it's not the site, but Alan just said that you're not gonna pay for the mall. So I wanna understand clear.
We haven't decided, period. So
I thought there was a decision.
that until now, we have
In the
decided,
last meeting.
but we haven't decided ipsos verbis forever. What we decided is that regarding the information we have received, we are still waiting for more information to make a decision. So that was my understanding also.
What is the more information? She sent the information she has. And I'm not here taking any side, I'm just.
What I'm saying is that now that we have the
I'm sorry, who's
drywall,
talking there
etc.
next to you? Who's the person talking next to you? So I know who I'm talking to?
No, it's just me and Alan.
You're speaking
Oh,
with Joao.
oh, okay, Alan, okay.
And I think Alan is also in the camera. But let me tell you, my understanding is that we are putting everything together to take the best decision towards any of the unit owners. Until now, there was no evidence on our side that we should just take those $10,000 of the mold that you mentioned and to cover for the mold. That would need to be put in the package of the drywalls, et cetera, et cetera. That is my understanding of what has been decided. And now, when we are going for the drywalls, we might say, look, there was drywalls here, drywalls. This is the amount we are going to recover in each one of the units compared with others. And we might find that, okay, in your unit, you went beyond the normal and average. So that covers part or not of the mold. That is my understanding of the decision. And what I'm telling is what I believe we have decided. So it's still not a no or yes. It's now the calculations being done. The other thing we asked for the owners is to tell us what was the amounts they spend in water remediation. They told us what they spend in water remediation. We have 5 units. And so that is also another possibility of entry to understand in terms of this mold. It's still not clear. Like I said, by the way, Ron is here in the meeting, and I also said, this is not saying that we're going to pay each one of these amounts. We're just collecting all this information. But right now, when we are closing, by the way, the roof number 3 is not even started. Now is the moment that we really need to take these decisions. And that has been said for many meetings and months. In your case, it's not different from any other ones that had to wait until now to take this decision. And I would also remind that this board has been correcting 100,000 things that comes from the past, and this is one of them. So, but unfortunately, right now is the only moment that we are going to start the roof number 3 and be ready to do that decision appropriately.
I understand that I have to move forward with fixing my enclosure as soon as possible, so we can all have the roof completed. And I'm willing to work on my site. I just want you to understand that I went through a whole year of having my house empty. First, I lost my tenant, so I was without any income from that house for almost a year. Then I tried to sell it, and I couldn't sell it because of the situation of the roof. The 2 banks, 2 people that I had, they were willing to buy my house. The bank didn't approve their loans because the situation with the roof. All of these have impacted me financially tremendous. And I want you to understand that. I know John also in the corner had her house empty for a year. We were, I think, the people that suffered the most during this past year. And the only thing I'm asking you is to pay a mold that I got because of your delay of helping me with fixing the mold that was growing there that I was telling you for 3 weeks. And then eventually I had to fix it myself. And so basically I want you to understand that you're asking me to move forward to pay thousands of dollars for an enclosure, but I'm only asking you to pay $10,000 And I'm not asking you for loss of rent or what, or the lost market that the opportunity I had to sell my house, and you cannot make a decision to pay that.
What I'm telling these things, first of all, that I understand what you're saying, and I think everybody here. Please also understand that I believe the 41 unit owners were highly impacted. You were very impacted, Diana, Ron, all of the members of this board has been working the hell out to remediate all of these things. So a lot of hours of effort has been put here. So there's a lot of investment for all of us. But what I'm saying is that we are now taking those decisions. And so what I'm saying is that the same way we are taking decisions for water remediation, dry walls, that is now the package and the time that unfortunately is now on December 2024, beginning of 2025, because it is the time that we are doing the roofs. But I understand obviously the drama that we've been living all together in this neighborhood. I can tell you, and especially the people that are obviously had water intrusion. But it's a matter of time. And unfortunately, we are just starting the roofs of number 3 right now.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for like Cesar said, we're just waiting for the city and the permit. And that wasn't something that was given to us easy, because there were some things to be fixed there. So that was not our fault that we had some delay there. But yeah, I know this has to be done.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you for the cooperation. Robert, do you want to add something about what you just said?
I think there's a couple different things. What happened in the prior year with the water intrusions, and that impacted many different units in buildings 2 and 3. I think everyone suffered a lot, and not just those owners, but owners in other buildings as well. Granted, we realize you were renting your place out at that point. He realized that it would take a long time to be fixed, and he went somewhere else. I think really the thing that we're trying to do is be fair and objective and equitable to all owners who were negatively impacted through water intrusion. If someone else had decided to completely do their drywall as you had, we would be telling them the exact same thing, that we will treat this process in one shot when we get the green light that the roofs are watertight. It is not singling anyone out. It is being fair to everyone. And we even brought in an engineer to look at the
Sorry, Robert, I'm sorry, but I was willing to sign a waiver so I get paid for my walls. So I'm not trying to get special treatment, but I need to get somehow paid for the thousands of dollars that I spent. And I was willing to sign a waiver. And so I don't understand what you're trying to say there, but.
What I'm trying to say is you're dealing with a board who's fully committed to the welfare and benefit of all 41 owners, and we are taking this process comprehensively and specifically when we get the green light that the roofs are watertight along with the mansards. And part of that process is also dealing with the illegal enclosures. And that is something that, frankly, there were some roofing companies who came and looked and did not want to bid on this process because of those enclosures, knowing that it would be complicated. And so while there's issues there, there's also something that we have to take into account for all 41 owners, that we are being fair and equitable. And as we told everyone, and I heard that there's a couple unit owners who are physically present there in the meeting and even online here who've had water damage. multiple times. And we said the exact same thing to them, that we are working hard, we are going as fast as we can, and that through this, we think it's both wise and prudent to ensure that the roofs and the mansards are watertight, so that we can initiate the drywall process.
I think that this board, because we took all this process, needs to decide. I'm not saying already, give checks out, but decide on the amount for each unit regarding drywalls before the end of the year. I'm not saying to pay out, but we already have the information. NV5 has been working on this for a year. So we need to put in a number for each unit according to the information we have and make a decision. And then once, like we always said, once the roofer gives us the okay that everything is watertight, we hand out the checks according to what we decided. And so I don't think that needs to continue for the next board. I think that that's something that we need to do.
Yeah, it's critical. Today is the last meeting of this board, and we don't have that calculation done by the end.
So, I mean, I'm saying from here to the end of the year.
Sorry?
Something like that. Another extra meeting before the end of the year, I don't think so.
No, we're not gonna have another meeting before the end of the year, we know that. But
Always assume that the process would be according, and the prices change every day, etc. So at the end of the day, we agree that the interventions, because there are two types of things here. In some of the units, we need to do the work. In some of the units, we need to compensate. This needs to be aligned in terms of what is the price of the square feet for the ones we are really doing the work, and for the ones that we need to pay accordingly to the work they already been done. And that should be in parallel. That was always the alignment. And this is only the moment that we have now starting to feel secure to ask for somebody. By the way, it's still not the moment because the third is still not done, to come here to give us a budget for what needs to be done. And according to that, we also have to refund the other units. That's correct. But even to be more practical, we don't have the values right now to do the decision.
okay, Romer, what's the next point? Are we done with that point?
Yeah, so Caesar, if I understood you correctly, just going back to what you said, Miami-Dade County and North Miami Beach, you need permits from both of them, but you think those are coming up soon, and as soon as you get the permits, you have do we have all the specs needed? I believe we received the materials used, the impact windows specifications. I think we have everything as a board to be able to go forward, to not be in your way. Is that right?
Yes, until if the city of North Miami Beach, they don't ask for something crazy, we are okay. The only thing is, as soon as we get the permit, we need only to get another authorization from the board, like to put a dumpster, so we can do what demolish or and Angela in the same time, so we can save maybe some money there on throwing away garbage. And that's the only other authorization we need when we get the permit.
Okay.
And there was a comment from the city of Miami-Dade. So we need to send back to the architect so she makes the necessary changes according to the comments.
Yes,
So-
as soon I get the Angela permit revised by fire, I expect it's gonna be the same comment that we have on Alexandra unit, but I'm waiting because the fire department is very crazy, depending who revise and who have make sense. They are very complicated people.
Okay.
I
so-
don't say about the firefighters, I say about the fire inspectors.
Yeah. So at least in
Okay.
terms of your unit, you're ready to get started and to go right away, and you see as end of January, if, you know, permits coming in within the next week or so, that by
Yes.
January 5th, you'd be starting, and by the end of January, give or take, you'd be finished.
Yeah, yeah. If everything go as planned, the only I was figuring out is 24 and 25th is in the middle of the week. I don't if the city don't decide to take, they never done before, take extra days. I don't anticipate to be also, it's a very small job. I don't anticipate to be more picky on that, you know? It's no electrical, it's no plumbing involved, it's no AC. It's like it's very easy.
And not that you would know all the details, but just for my understanding, that the work being done in both your unit and Angela's unit is essentially comparable, right? Tear down, replace.
It's identical.
Yeah, okay.
Everything is identical.
Okay, so Angela, are you also saying that you, according to the timelines that Caesar gave, and, you know, that things are going well, that also by the end of January you would be finished? You're muted if you're talking, Angela.
Okay, I'm not a construction person, so I don't know why are you asking me that it's gonna be finished by January or February? I don't understand your question.
No, well, Angela, what he's trying to say, if we proceed, you will proceed in the same way. If we're doing the same work together. Until now, we're supposed to do the work together.
Yeah, we're working on it, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's gonna be finishing by January, February, I don't know.
Yeah, we expect like by the end of January, if the permits are done by the end of this month, by the end of January, we should have all the structure done, maybe waiting only for the window to get installed.
Uh-huh. Okay,
That's will be the worst case scenario.
excellent.
But I will keep you posted. I talk with Alan almost every week. I will keep you posted
Perfect. Thanks a
how
lot.
the progress go.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Robert, I need to talk and ask a couple of questions. You guys are submitting to the extension Ismael del Rosario, all the information. And my understanding, I understand that he is the GC that is going to move along with this information. There's two instances. The Refund, which we already, collaborate and give all the information. We pay for the plans, we pay for all the engineer structure, but this is only one part. The other part is the GC, as you guys are hiring Cesar to be the contractor for those enclosures. So where is the document of Cesar? Because what I actually have is the document of this guy, Ismael del Rosario, which, by the way, there's a lot of inconsistency on the documentation. As I've been reading, there's no general liability here covered, only work compensation, and there was no critical information as the drawings, as the plans that the GC that is going to do the individual enclosure needs to provide, as every regular unit owner has. And this is actually being my repeated question every time that you submit a document. So for this,
I'm sorry, who's the one talking? Who's the one talking? Who's the one?
It's the secretary of the association.
Okay, the secretary of state.
So Cesar, I
Okay,
didn't have the chance to talk to you and to, to formalize the procedures, but here in Leeward Point, we have a procedure where the GCs that are going to work in every unit it has to actually comply with some requirements. And that, I think, it's very, very critical, and it's always.
Let me explain you a little bit about construction. I've been doing this for many years. I'm not a contractor. I'm only helping my wife, and I'm helping Angela.
I see.
The contractor is Ismael. When we get the plan approval that the plan are being done by the Leeward Point who did the plans, no us.
Let me
And
understand.
the contractor, let me
Let me
finish.
understand how the
And-
logistics, you're gonna work under Ismael del Rosario.
Ismael del
Because I
Rosario is the
understand
one
that
who's
you are-
gonna
you are
put,
expediting documentation and also you're gonna be hands-on on the
okay,
construction.
you can let me talk?
Sure, yes.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. To start, Ismael del Rosario is a general contractor with license and everything. Normally, what we do on all the association is the association gives the authorization to the owner to do the construction. The owner can pick today Ismael and tomorrow he can change for anyone. The thing is, when the day they're going to start construction, the contractor, anyone has to be on the permit, and also the contractor has to provide to the association all the insurance requirement is liability and worker compensation and the license, the local license and the state license as a general contractor. That's the procedure. What we're doing right now is we took the plans that you guys provide to us. We took it to
What
the
plans?
city.
Plans. The only thing that I have is.
I think, Alfredo, you need to talk with your board because the plans is being done by you guys, by the board, all the plans for the remodelation.
This is all detail
the
for the
budget.
roofing only. This is only
No,
detail for.
no. That's
We have some
why
typical details of window, which is
you
something that
have the
I
detail of the window.
understand
We
because
have
Cesar, as I see the drawings, so those are generics.
no. Maybe you never saw the last set of plan that the association gave it to us, where is a complete architectural drawing, a complete structural drawing, a complete calculation drawing for the windows, plus the NOA of the windows. Plus the NOA of the window. I don't need to provide you with that because you guys provide me that to us. If you need to talk with your board, not with me.
No, what I'm saying is in order for you to work in here in Leeward Point, you need to provide all the requirements the association is asking.
The requirement the association requires, you guys need more requirement than the city? Which are the other requirements than the license, the local license, and the insurance, the liability insurance and the workers' compensation insurance? What other
What is that?
paper you need?
Are you going to provide that? Are you going to provide
I
that?
will provide, I'm telling you, we should provide that when we're gonna start the project, no before
Okay, but
that.
before that, there is a process of revision, there is a process of checking, and that, we're not the city, but we need to actually comply that. If you actually comply and submit all this information, I will appreciate so we can provide the authorization. I don't have any problem doing that. I'm glad that you're moving forward with this, but this
You know,
position.
the city asked me only for the letter of authorization, like we are authorized to do the work. They don't ask me for anything. When we get the permit from the city, before I will give it to you all the endorsement for the insurance. Before that, by law, I don't need to give you nothing because I didn't start nothing. Before I start construction, you can request me everything. But that's the day before I start construction.
When in January, and we have only couple of weeks. That's what you're saying,
How many days you need to revise an insurance? How many days you need to revise an insurance? It's a paper that says in the bottom, Leeward Point as endorsement. Actually,
I'm talking on behalf of the association and we have to check responsibility, and somebody who works in this condominium needs to actually provide all the required and necessary information for us to be protected. It's not because.
Let me ask you, what papers you need? Everything you need, I will give it to you the day before, no before that. I don't need, by law, show me in the books where I need to give you 30 days before the documents. No, the association conduct docs, and you have to read it very careful because I'm getting tired. It says before the start of the construction. That's it. If tomorrow Angela decides to go with a different contractor, she has to bring the other contractor with the papers. That is like that. I don't know why you have to complicate everything. And I'm sorry, but I'm getting tired because to get that paper was impossible. What's
Okay, so you're
impossible?
you're gonna start very soon, so we need that recording in order for us to release the
Very
condominium approval.
before I start, I will give it to you. I'm telling
Okay,
you, I
great.
will not start until I
And
get
then
it.
I
But
release,
if
and
you
then I
need
release and
30
sign
days,
the.
if you need 30 days to give me the authorization to start, that is your problem. As soon I give it to you, I will start my work. I don't care if you see it or you don't see it. I will start my work
This is
next
not for me,
day.
this is for the association, understand
No,
that, so
it's
you
the
don't need to
association
actually
because
be out
you are
there.
the only one who
So if
gives
you can
problem
comply with
always on the
this, we are all
association.
fine. This
The
is what
other
I need to
people
see.
trying to help, but you don't help. You always was trying to put peace in the middle. That is not helping, Alfredo. It's not helping. We need to move. We need to move, not continue
I'm
losing
going to
time in
share.
a stupid paper.
He's disconnected.
Let me see. I think the battery is out. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself. Oh, there we go. Now. Okay, can you guys hear me?
Now we
So-
can.
To Alfredo's comment. All the documentation that the board needed was provided. There's nowhere.
I never seen Cesar information there, I only see the.
What do you need set of information for?
Director, are you actually forging because it's my next work here, right?
Ismael is the GC that is in charge. And he put his license, okay, that's what you need. And he put the insurance that right now you already, let me finish. The insurance will be provided before the work starts. He already did an endorsement of the insurance to the city of North Miami Beach, which they approved. The license is in there, and you mentioned that you never saw the drawings that I sent so many times. Hold on, I'm talking. I didn't stop you when you were talking. So that all the information was provided by email so many times. You have it, also you have it in the drive for everybody to see, and I'm gonna share it right now for everybody to see here. Part of here are the plans on Zoom. And we also have.
Make the observation of that, so you don't need to share information, because you know exactly. So.
What am I doing? What am I doing?
Here is the condominium, what currently signed, or if you guys need it.
Let me read, I'm gonna read out loud.
This document.
Okay, so for the sake.
Actually give it to you for your needs. You will sign these, but get it documentation, because you don't need to tell.
You're not allowing me to speak. So be respectful,
Check.
be respectful, sit down, be respectful, sit down,
I
be
just
respectful.
check it and I
I'm
check
speaking.
that out. For that reason.
So-
I'll sign anything for that matter.
Okay, so first of all. So for the record, the city already approved this without your signature. Because they know how complicating this association is.
That's not even part of this conversation. And
Now I'm going to read out loud, what is the city of North Miami Beach condominium approval form? Which that is what Alfredo is delaying all this and delaying the work of the roofers as a result. Let me finish. I'm speaking. We've been asking Alfredo to sign a very simple document that I'm showing right now. This document is the normal
a
document.
simple document that is not even.
I'm
with the
speaking.
Documentation, so that's.
So
the reason
here-
that I'm
so-
signing.
so,
Tell me that I'm actually.
I'm gonna read
signing.
it.
The unit owners that
Pursuant-
actually been doing repairs and renovation, been signing document without no problem. Coincidentally, this is becoming a problem. Becoming a problem because you are.
You are not
limiting me-
clear.
you are
You're not
limiting
clear.
me To actually access to all the information, and you're sending me something that is not relevant and is not reliable. For
What,
that reason.
what information you
Because
missing?
everything that you are saying.
What
I've
is
been
the
actually
information?
checking it carefully, and I don't feel comfortable spending everything.
This,
You don't need to work on anything that it's already sealed there. So go for it if you want for the record, but here, my name is not gonna be on that seal.
Very
Because
good. So
sooner or
since-
later, we are not gonna take any liability, and I'm going to remind you on time in the future what it's gonna be.
Okay, so I'm going to read
Because this is
to
not the first
everybody.
time we have liability.
Can you shut up? Such a drama queen.
No, it's not a drama. queen.
Okay, so here we go. This is a simple form that the condominium is supposed to approve. Just for the record, the city is satisfied with all the documents, with the plans, with the calculations from the engineer. Everything was provided. Everything was also provided by email to all the board members several times. Is it correct, Robert, what I'm saying?
That is correct.
Joao, did you see also all the documents that show the plans of the enclosures that we hired the engineer to do? I sent it several times to everybody. Yeah, the design, the drawing, all that was sent to everybody. Okay. So when somebody wants to do any type of renovations or constructions in the condominium, they need, I'm speaking. We hired an engineer that came, took measurements, did specific, and I just showed it also on, I shared it to everybody to see, that is specific to unit 23 and 25. The only document that was requested from the association, which is the normal condominium approval form, that is, the city asked for it. And the only thing they're asking here, and I'm going to read it, dear filling the blank, which is the unit owner name, pursuant to your formal authorized request made to the board of director of the Leeward Point Condominium Association, this letter is sent to inform you that your request to construct or repair enclosure balcony has been approved. This approval came at the duty held meeting of the board committee on the date and is reflected in the minutes of the association. Your request complies with all the rules, regulations, and restrictions concerning the documents establishing and governing the condominium. This letter may be presented to the city of North Miami Beach to enable you to obtain any necessary permits and approvals for the construction authorized by the board. In no event shall the city of North Miami Beach, its officers, employee, or representative be deemed to have approved any request made by you pursuant to this condominium document. Now,
Standard letter.
That's exactly what it is. That's a standard letter. That's a standard letter. So I'm asking you, no. So you started.
That you are not.
So
That is so to myself. Been telling many times we mail it. This thing is around because you feel you are in control of because you know everything. You think that's one.
obviously you're not in control.
No. Not in control. I just said it.
So I'm asking you in front of everybody. I'm asking you.
That is not out of.
So I'm asking you.
I don't see clan. So that's why I don't my hands.
Very good, very good. So I'm asking you in front of everybody, what is the documents
You don't need to.
that you are, I'm asking you because you are delaying a signature.
Same document, there's no single communication or relation. I'm asking for you and then.
Why don't you check your emails, my friend? Do you want me to open them right now? I'm
Can I
gonna
ask a
open
point
them.
of question? I hate to interrupt.
We're gonna open the emails. And I'm sorry for everybody,
Making a statement or
but
something
we
that
are
is-
heading,
What I need to say, Alan, I needed to say it's very recorded. Here is the sign and seal.
okay,
The seal, I'm sorry, the seal of the document for perusal, but this is not going to have my signature. Important.
I'm going to open the email that was sent to you.
Are we, I think that, we can pass this because that's already been, skills. The requirements are not there.
What you actually being
You
requested.
just explained, we still don't understand what are the, what.
No, I don't answer anything. So here is,
Oh,
here is
so
the
now,
paper.
so now you realize.
Here is the paper. So here is the paper that you request. There we go. Have it. So it's all good for you. Okay, it's all good for you. Sign it and get it over. So
I don't understand. If you were against, no, I want to clarify for everybody. So for the record,
Number 10.
Yes.
okay, so for the record again, Mr. Alfredo was delaying the approval of the enclosure. No, it needs to be understood.
Not there.
More than a week.
After this, can I ask a question of the president?
Go ahead, Mark.
I'm so sorry to interrupt this in conversation, but it's really concerning to me that you have some people working against each other. I would like to have some level of confidence that is the board that's currently in place all on the ballot for next year, and is there one additional person? Is everybody on the, because there's got to be some continuity here, and I think you're going to go crazy unless you have some.
Yeah, I didn't give into the specifics, but there's, all ballots have been received, not ballots, all,
Nominations.
nominations. Thank you, Diana.
Nominations.
Nominations have been received, and I believe there's a total of 8.
Okay, but is all the current board on there? The 5
There-
that are currently?
There's 4
Beside
out of the
Diana,
5.
all of them are here.
Okay, so it would be the same board plus 3 more.
Yes, no. It's 4 of the current board. And
4 additional.
yeah, I think we can say the names of those that are
Yes,
nominated.
please, because then I have a very specific question, because I
Oh,
see
it's
one
not
person.
published.
Yes. Can you say the names?
According to Alfredo, we can't. I
Well,
honestly don't know
that's a
them.
very, then my point is well taken. If you have a majority right now, make a motion to remove him as secretary and appoint a new secretary and get your business done. This is disgusting.
I actually already mentioned that to the president. We don't even have to do a motion. The president can just remove
No,
him.
yeah, the board can
Without any
change
cost.
directors at any time, but it's crazy that somebody's combating and not working with this board. And then it's
Not only
nice to
that,
know.
that is specifically targeting people.
Well, that we knew from a long time ago, but I'm very concerned because this board has done a great job. And even Alfredo's done a great job if he stays in his lane. But if you have a person like that, that's not signing documents when the board, you can't have one person filibuster a vote of 5. I mean, that's not democracy. So
Right.
you should do
And
something
I
about it
agree with
before
that,
you
and-
leave.
But telling that this is not democracy.
And that's where, in my point,
And I'm sorry to interrupt.
Excuse me, hello? I've looked at the documents. I've looked at the documents. I've looked at everything that Alan has sent. I've looked at the elements, and all of those satisfy, as it have already satisfied the city of North Miami Beach. We already got approval from the board that this can go forward. And so through that, I want to essentially say we need the seal.
Stop these nonsense.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Wait. He claimed that he never received
Yes.
an email.
No.
I'm showing the email where Alfredo is clearly working. And that email, well, digital the record. And that was sent October 18.
Can we move to the next one?
We have the documents, and according to the bylaws, the other elements of insurance must be provided to us prior to the beginning of the construction. If we do not receive those letters of insurance, construction cannot begin. Us providing the approval or anything else goes without saying. It would be within our right if we did not receive those documents to
My
halt.
understanding, the papers were already delivered and already approved. Let's move to the another point. This was already done. So at the end of the day, why we are still on this point? So we need to move to the next one.
So what's our
Selection of the GC for parapet walls and stucco work for mansards. It's not parapet walls.
No, it's just for the stucco.
It's just for the stucco. Well, from my understanding, in Alan, if you can present a little bit your email, just for, especially what some of them are talking about additional work, it will be great.
Okay, let me just find the email. Give me 1 second.
This is an email received on Monday, December 9th, 18 p.m. This is the work of stucco that we knew it was coming because the guy just does roofs, is a roofer, does roofs, and we needed to complement that with stucco for building 2 and 3. From my understanding, we have 5 proposals.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was, let's see here.
Once again, you have it? Just Monday, December 9th, 18.
Did I send it from Leeward Point or from my?
Leeward Point, Gmail.
Okay, sorry about it. Just a second, please. Yeah. Okay, so I sent you guys 5 different estimates for the stucco work. We're talking about building 2 and building 3. The first 3 are the more serious companies that from the 5. So we have the wire guy that already did work in our condominium. They did a good job, but the estimate was completely crazy, 127,200. We even had a conversation about it with them and gave them another chance, which they never responded. Then we had an estimate from the Roma, which is the GC that is currently working on the parapet wall and the mansards on top of building 1, and is going to start also on building 3 for what we discussed before, which is the parapet wall. So he gave an estimate of 60,500, and also he put there, in case we find any other parts that are rotten or bad, or we need more stucco work for some reason, let's say on building 1. Actually, let me correct it. So the estimate of 60,500 is only for building 2 and 3. Doesn't include the stucco work that will need to be done on the replacement of the mansard in building 1, in the section of building 1.
Okay.
So
how many square feet are there?
right now, I think it's 1,100 linear feet. I don't know exactly in square feet how much it is. 1,100 linear feet. No, I'm sorry, 101 linear feet. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
101 linear feet is right now what they're replacing. So I don't know exactly how much it's going to be in square feet because we need to, but the price per square feet for the stucco, okay, is $28 per square feet, according to this quote, which is the Roma.
So we have linear feet. How much stucco is like 2 feet?
I think it's less. I think it's about
The width of squares. I know, it's fair. I just, linear feet, 100.
the width of the mansard. What is the width of the mansard? 24. So let's assume 24.
2 feet. Okay, so 2 feet multiplied. How many are they?
101.
100. Okay. Multiplied by 28. We are talking around 5,600 feet.
So yeah, so something like that. So basically, the Roma gave us the estimate for building 2 and 3 plus price per square footage for any additional work.
So question, when we are looking to the wire guy or cables to roll, and they are just doing for 2 and 3, or they are also including the 1?
Just 2 and 3.
Just comparing the number. Okay.
It's just 2 and 3. But this is why I put the remark that additional work is 20.
It's the only one that already confirmed.
Yeah, right now it's only building one that requires any work on stucco on the new section. Then Gables and Grove, very serious company. They have excellent reviews. They have great communication. Always answer every questions I had. And they adjusted the quote because they wanted to use more material. That basically my approach was the way the stucco is built right now, do the same. Don't do more than what needed. So not to go too technical, but for the stucco, it's like a net, like a wire net that is being put between the trusses, and then they put the stucco, which is like a cement that adheres to that net. And that's what we have right now. So originally, Gables and Grove gave us a quote, putting plywood, then putting a net, and then putting the stucco, and that makes it much more expensive. So
This is not the one we have here. This is
no. So the one we have here is the already the way we have right now. So the same way we have right now, the estimate from Gables and Grove is 68,891. That's for building 2 and 3. They did not provide any price per square feet. And then the last two, these are not companies that I know. And one of them, the last one, I contacted them back with some questions. They never responded.
Alan, I read through the proposals and looked through that, and there were some that included painting it afterwards, some that did not. I think the wire guy did not include painting afterwards. I don't think the Roma included paint afterwards,
Yeah, the Roma, I think, included paint.
did it?
I think, let me
Um,
see.
And Gables, the exclusions on D Roma on page 1, exterior painting.
Oh, you're right. You
Um,
are correct. I missed that. My bad. Let me actually text. Let's see if they answer. But it's a good point.
and Gables and Grove, I believe they did. At least when I look at it, I see on page, what page is that? 6. Prime soffits, paint, eaves. So that seems like that includes the paint.
Gable, yes.
Gables, yes. Handy
Yeah, he
Pana,
even specified which paint and brand and everything.
yeah. The fourth one, I did not feel, well, I might be getting ahead of that, your presentation, but
No, I mean, yeah, the fourth one was not detailed, was just line items. I don't think it's something serious that we should consider, but I added it because it was sent to me, and
yeah,
so.
Cleaning out it's more expensive, the wire guy expensive, builder eventually is also very expensive. So we are reduced to Diroma, Gables and Grove, and then the partner. And the partner is the cheapest, but at the end of the day, we have no information at all from the partner.
Correct. It's cheaper, but it's not much cheaper.
Yeah, it's $5,000, no, a little bit, $5,600 cheaper.
Yeah.
But we already start, how is the relationship of Diroma with the roofer?
Good. They started working even before the day they said. They have good communication with the roofer. They're collaborating. So up until now, they've been working until all this week. All the communication was good. I heard from the roofer that they're getting along and no complaints. Also, the unit owner, unit 1, apparently has no complaints overall. So
For the same thing for me when we went for the unit 30 for the work on the balcony that we chose the wire guy. I think if we have a good experience for the aroma, when I saw this email, I went for the prices and looked for the proposal. I was not only understanding what was the additional work, my vote is going for the aroma.
Okay, but Robert did bring up a good point that, and that's my bad, that's my mistake, that the Roma did not include here the exterior paint. So we have two ways about it. One is to allocate an extra amount that we can vote on right now and tell him, look, how much is going to be with the paint. And if it's within the amount we approved, then we can move ahead. The other thing is, since this is just white paint, and probably that's not going to be possible, but I'm just putting it out there. It's going to be. I was thinking of Carlos, but I don't think it's a work for
I think that's
paint job
too,
for Carlos.
Can I say
too big.
something?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only a suggestion for the paint. What exactly we need to paint?
Underneath,
So underneath the mansard, we need to put stucco.
Stucco, no paint.
No, first stucco to close the
Okay,
bottom
yeah,
of the
to
mansard,
exactly, and then
and
repaint
then
it.
paint, and then paint the
And-
stucco.
And how much is the proposal for the paint?
No, so we have a proposal for everything that is a stucco work plus the paint, but we just realized that one of the quotes does not include the paint. So we don't know how much is just the paint by itself.
Because I don't want to get me wrong or anything like that. It's only I want to help. I have a guy, he have license, insurance, everything. And I can guarantee you for painting, he don't do stucco, he do painting only. He's a professional painter. But his pricing, I have 3 warehouses so I can give you an example in Doral.
I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it's great, Cesar, but the problem that I see is that if we hire somebody else for paint, then at the end of the day, it's going to cost us more because he needs to bring his own scaffolding, start all over, than
But I
having the
think
same contractor that already has that.
is the thing what we need to figure it out, because we are far still a little bit for YCS, we're a little bit far to start doing the stock a couple of weeks. What we did in our warehouses, we have a proposal for 180,000 to paint the warehouses. This guy did it for 60,000. We rent, at the end, we save like a $60,000 because what we did, we rent the equipment and we buy directly from Sherwin-Williams the paint. And he's a professional painter with license from Sherwin-Williams. He did it. We have the guarantee on the painting, and we save a lot of money. It's only an idea.
I
If
mean-
you guys decide, it's only an idea. I'm throwing there because
Yeah,
we lost a lot of money on the roof.
we can ask him to give a proposal, but for the paint only. You said that doesn't do
Exactly,
stucco?
for the paint only, and
No.
the association. No, he don't do the
No.
stucco. I have another guy. He can actually give you a proposal for a stucco, but I don't know.
I think for the stucco, we need to stick with the proposals we received just
I'm
for,
gonna call the Roma to see if he answers and if he can clarify about the paint, so we can make a vote. Is that okay?
If you couldn't put the paint into the number.
Anything I can help, I'm willing to help. Only one, because I know the association lose a lot of money with the roof issue, with the guy who died and all that, and we
yeah,
are not in the best shape. I'm only trying to save money because, and this time of the year, every penny in the pocket for everyone we help.
you're right. Thank you, Cesar.
Anything you guys let me know.
So while he's calling, there's,
He's calling.
I think, oops, no. I think most of these are apples to apples. The main thing that jumped out to me was the paint.
So the Roma just said that they include the paint in the 60,500.
Right, so if it's included.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Choosing the Roma.
The Roma for me.
My votes.
Okay, so we have 2 votes for the Roma. Alfredo, Alfredo is no voting. Diana, you there?
Diana?
And
Sorry, I could not find my unmute. DeRoma seemed like the best candidate when I reviewed as well, but I also noted the paint situation. So sorry, I missed the very last part. Are we taking a final vote now, or are we gonna wait for them to
we're
quote? the
taking a
paint?
final, so we just spoke with the Roma and they agreed to include the paint as well in their price.
Oh,
So
as well, in
basically,
that
we
final
can
price.
compare
Okay.
apples to apples, and we just made a motion to approve one. Zhao said the Roma, Robert said the Roma, and we're waiting for you to decide.
Yeah, they seem like the best price of the quotes I reviewed, so I'm fine to vote with them as well.
Okay, so we have 3 votes for the Roma. That's the selected contractor for the stucco works. I mean, we already have 3 votes, so it's, you know, I also approve the Roma, but since I'm the one that brought all of them, I always prefer to abstain and let others decide. Okay. Very good.
Settled,
Settle.
finalized.
Okay.
So that takes care of selection of GC for stucco work for mansards, point number 10. Point number 11, units that need repairs and renovations from water damage. I think we already talked about that, no? Or is there more to discuss? We talked about it, right? So we go forward. Unit 21, windows and door replacement, limited common area wall demolition and electrical work pending for permitting.
She changed so that they all met. She will submit the drawings sooner with the skeleton windows to be replaced, the demolition of the concrete fence wall at the entrance, and the electrical connection. Estimated time, say by the end of the year.
There's nothing still.
Nothing else yet. I went there to check.
Unit 41 cell, you want me to?
You are muted.
I was muted, sorry. Unit 31 cell.
You want me to give some context here, Robert?
So, yes, go ahead. Or you want me
If
to?
you want.
So unit 31 has been for sale. The owner passed away. The house is in probate. There's been a complicated process both with our bookkeeper, and they are in arrears. So we had already started a legal process in terms of receiving those arrears. Now there is the option for someone to buy that, but it's they keep trying to go around to the bookkeeper or to the lawyers to get information, and it feels like they're sort of playing off of both parties, trying to get more information. What that purpose is for, I could only speculate. However, in going through this, one of the latest documents that they asked us to sign is an affidavit in relation to the roof project, stating that we have sufficient funds. In my conversations with Joao, I said I don't feel comfortable signing this because we have a line of credit that converts into a loan, and I do not want any type of affidavit or anything like that to be misconstrued that this new unit owner would not be responsible for the second special assessment by us signing that. So my inclination is to not sign that. I'm not sure where the drive is coming from to require that signature, but we've gone through the process, we've done the interview. We've approved the owner or the potential owner, and they just need to really be on par with the culture and community of Leeward Point. And we said very clearly that there is one special assessment right now, and there's going to be a second one when that line of credit converts into the actual loan upon completion of the roofs. So the point in bringing this up is it's already a complicated process because the house is in probate, which brings in different types of legal challenges. However, from our perspective, there's really very simple, and the line that we need to draw, that we've also drawn with our bookkeeper, is for them to not send any information to the buyer or his representatives, but that it only needs to come from the owner and approved by us to help mitigate any type of misinformation or incorrect calculations coming through that could be outdated or just flat incorrect. And so that sort of provides the context in there. Also, in relation to the estoppel, there was an initial estoppel issued without our approval. And in that estoppel, it did not include the fence or the wall in the back patio. So we need to be very careful and very clear that any information that is provided needs to be approved by us first, so that we as a board can ensure that if there is anything against regulations within the community, that we can include that within the estoppel, and that the arrears plus the legal charges are appropriately accounted for prior to releasing any of that information. João, you want to add anything?
Just want to add that because of this estoppel that was released by the bookkeeper without passing by us, we had the back and forth emails with Vishnu, which is the responsible for enumerate. And what we told him is that there's no more estoppels being sent to anybody just by requesting without our approval. And that's why you also saw the emails being exchanged today and me saying, you're not signing anything without the approval of the Leeward Point Condominium Association Board. This is a debate. They have in the contract, they would be the ones by us. So when we ask for a estoppel, they could do the estoppel, but it needs to be us. And the ridiculous part of these is that when they requested a estoppel for enumerate, who is they? So whoever comes here asks for a estoppel from a unit and they send it. They didn't charge anything until now, but yes. And there's another topic. Is our attorneys asked for the ledger of 31. And suddenly our attorneys, if you see there's 2 letters they sent to them. They cannot be working for people without our authorization. So enumerate already put enumerate saying, look, you don't send anything for third parties without the decision of the board. This is basic procedures. I can't even believe what is happening in Florida. And the second thing, we need to tell the attorneys, I'm not the point of contact, that they don't work for whoever else than the association and the board. So why are they sending letters to these people? So let me tell you. And that's,
you mean because one of the emails I saw was
no, the letter they sent, the estoppel that was sent by enumerate, and then the 2 others. And then this guy, Leo, I have nothing against him. He calls me and I said, look, where's the owner? Where is the seller? Because usually you have the seller and the buyer. And that's why we received then an email that we need to send to our attorneys, because there is somebody saying, I am representing the seller, but in an email. Is this legal? A legal proof that she's representing the the seller, or are we providing everything to somebody within a process that doesn't even know or are acquainted with the seller? So I think we need to be very careful. I think, first of all, we need to understand if this person, by sending that email, is the real representative of the seller, because she says, for now on, I am the representative of Adrian, what? Armenti, Adrian Armenti. Is this a legal document that we can take? Afterwards, if there is the representation of the seller, I would propose we ask for a stopple, but a stopple that is revised by you, like you did for Edward, et cetera, et cetera. So we need to put everything that needs to be in the stopple. Directly.
Okay, so we need to ask, first of all, the lawyer to verify.
First, we need to tell the lawyer that he doesn't send letters without authorization. And then the first thing after that is to verify that that email that we received, that would be the recommendation I would do, is that can we take these, as this lady is now the representation of Adrian Armenti, which we consider the owner, but they are in court fighting for that. So I don't know I have no recollection of what is happening in the court. If the attorney said, no, this is a proof that she's representing Adrian Armenti, then we ask for a proper stopple that needs to be included everything we need to include accordingly to what is not by law, et cetera, et cetera. It's settled. It's there. So it's valid because the values of the stopple, and we already forbidden enumerate to send another one. This stopple is very old. So what they did was coming around, and that's why Robert is saying they go around the board, and they went to the attorneys and they asked for a position of the letter, and they send it. And we are the ones that should decide. So they have a stopple that was already emitted a long time ago, plus 2 letters from the attorneys. And until now, what I said is that we have not approved that his stopple for this unit. Have you approved? No. I have approved? No. You have approved? No. Nobody has approved. So it needs to be, if you ask me personally, do I like the way the process is being conducted? Not at all. That's not at all.
Okay, so next step is first
Next
of all,
step is telling our attorneys, why did they send these? No, they should be informing us about the information they are providing here, especially because for sure they charge us about these letters. The second thing is that we received an email from this lady. Is this lady representing or no the owner? So we move to the request of the proper stopple. We put whatever needs to be there additional on the stopple. One of the things is that ridiculous fence. Obviously, anybody that buys the house will take out that fence, but I don't know if anything else needs to be there. Then we release the stopple, and I'm 100% with Robert. When I read that affidavit, I would never sign that, because at the end of the day, we are still with the line of credit that will convert to a loan. And now this owner has been informed in the interview, he's been informed by emails, you guys are in the emails, that there's a second special assessment coming in. So why are we being asked? That's why I don't like the process. Why are we being asked to sign a document that we have the funds to do everything else regarding the roofs? So I don't need to say anything.
well, the reason the lawyer asked to sign that document is he getting a mortgage? If he's getting a mortgage, the mortgage is asking.
Rational can be whatever rational. He already knows that we don't have the funds, that is a line of credit, and he already knows that the line of credit will convert into a loan. So whatever reason he's putting there, he already knows that the information is contrary with that. That's so first step is to realize with the attorneys why they send the letter saying that, are they representing? And if we go there, to go for the stopper, a proper one. And Alfredo, if you can add, because you have more knowledge definitely on that, what are the things that the unit needs to fix, which I think it's only the fence or no?
I need to.
You need to,
Check.
yeah, because that needs to go into the stopper.
And go there and see if any other paying.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been seeing this one, his.
The only thing they left the doors open, there were cats running everywhere.
Any
cockroaches.
electrical,
I don't know. I think
no,
no.
you-
No. So I don't. I think it's six. I don't think. Yeah, and so. And
So
I don't know,
are
we need to, and Manel is pointing out, shouldn't somebody talk with the owner? Because right now, yes, and that is one of the points, is that we think is, by the way, why our reports talks about Adriana Armenti. So this is a topic once again, and unfortunately, we need to talk with the attorneys, because this is not, I don't have the legal knowledge to understand if we should move ahead.
We don't know if
One of the strongest says the guy that owns the,
It's no longer, so whenever you go to the gas station to drink coffee, etc., it says it's not related anymore with the.
they sold the gas station.
No, the gas station, I believe, is also included in all the points. So there's a big thing about the gas station and the unit.
guy was managing that.
He's managing the gas station. So I don't know how involved he is also with the apartment. I don't know.
And the fact that he's managing the gas station doesn't mean
Yeah,
that he.
So I do a motion to contact our attorneys and before moving, because it's sufficient question marks to just start signing documents that.
Okay.
And to understand, okay, this is the legal representation, if we are secure to ask for exposure, and then give our opinion about the affidavit. Probably we are wrong, no? Okay, so
I'll send an email to the lawyers.
okay, and Robert, also like we did in enumerate, I think we need to call their attention about working for whoever else is not the representation of the Leeward Client Association, which is somebody that sends an email to them, they start working and then we pay. This is ridiculous, sorry.
Yeah,
Makes no sense. Zero.
okay,
Yeah, the way it should be is that once we start the process and we approve the process, and we, send and we approve, sending the stove, then for the closing, there's back and forth, but that's okay. Yeah, exactly. Okay.
all right. Number 14, 3 more to go. Temporary parking for mopeds and scooters is parallel to Center Island behind Unit 36.
We sent the letters already. Did we send the letters?
Behind Unit 36.
So we have bikes, not bikes, scooters in parking places of the cars, especially now that we don't have a lot of parking, and we have decided to send a letter informing the owner. So Alfred is asking if we send the letter. No, we have not send the letter.
But we decided, I think, that temporarily it's going to be parked in the middle island.
We need to inform the people, so
Okay.
we need to send the letter.
Okay.
A month ago. So the Robert's.
So there was no letter.
Okay, all right.
So what are we discussing right now?
We need to send a letter.
So okay, we need to send the letter. So who's preparing the letter?
How many mopeds are there? There's only one, right? Can't we just talk to that person?
How many scooters? I just saw one.
That needs to be recorded, Robert, with the formal letter.
Then we send the letter to that one
Yes,
individual.
we already have a verbal communication, but we need to reinforce that with the letter. Because apparently it's still not compliant.
Okay, then will you draft that letter, Alfredo, secretary?
No, you told us last month that you will.
I don't think I would.
On my plate, because on my plate is full.
Yeah, I don't think I said I would. I'm not able to.
Yes, you did.
So you can
That's-
do it, or
Yeah,
we,
so-
or we just
sec-
talk to the individual. If you think a letter is important, you can write that letter. Otherwise, we just talk with the owner.
Right, well, make a phone call.
Do you know who's the owner?
I don't.
Do you know who's the owner?
Yes, it's living on Marcelo's, unit.
So is it there?
It's a tenant, yes.
Okay. All right.
No, officially not understand. No. We don't know about this.
No. Okay, I'll talk with Marcelo. Okay.
And if
Okay.
you, of course, need to be informed about any tenant that is living in Newark.
Well, the guy is professional, so he's always, fine, so you can, like reinforce. But anyway,
Okay.
I will ask again.
Okay. Maintenance, 15.
Maintenance updates.
Repairs of irrigation lines and entrance garden and building for the end of shading. the grass on building 3 is already replanted and the water tower is. We have a scheduled service landscape of mulching around the garden and in common areas by next week with a coordinated paid service. Carlos fixed the settlement, bedrock. No, Carlos picked the settlement crack on the west facade on building 3. This is on DDR size on the side. And he's scheduled to do touch-up paint in this coming Saturday. All the sprinkler heads in common areas are already repaired and functioning. If you find any future leaks or malfunctioning of any sprinkler heads, please report it. We recently have the water fountain in the gym service. That was last Tuesday. I contacted the company Alki, and the equipment is out of warranty. Therefore, they refer us to some kitchen service located in Pompano. They came Tuesday and they inspected the equipment and serviced the water filter, the indicator light, the bubbler, the aerator, the compressor, and the thermostat, as well as they provide a new hardware to reattach the Bassplats panel, which was loose. The cost of the service was $389.48. I send you the invoice later. Okay. And water filter for this particular model is the 51300 for record. That comes with a sensor that connects with the water filter display. So this is something that we need to keep in mind. A wire way cover for the electrical gutter in the electrical room number 2 is missing and it's required for the 50 years building recertification. I went online and I found a replacement and it's already ordered and the cost is 82. Well, it was 65 plus delivery and shipping and tax, and it was at 82 with 85 cents for reference. The side curb at the entrance was broken again by the garbage truck. We contacted Postal to address the issue, and we're asking for $500 reimbursement every time that this happened, because this is not the first time. You know, it happened several times.
What did they break? I'm sorry.
When they back up, they always break the side curb that is nearby the handicap.
Oh.
So we are taking care of it. So they are gonna come back to us with an answer. Pressure cleaner was done on the pool deck due to the debris and dirt from the construction. I don't know if you noticed, all the areas are black based on the construction. It's all. So I told Carlos to actually clean the whole deck, and it's already clean.
It's the black.
Yeah. Maintenance bedrock was refilled again on the areas of building 4 between unit 36 and 37. And it was performed since last September. We're also going to perform bedrock fill in the rear area of building 1 near unit 1. And we're going to contact unit 3 to access their balcony to assess the water intrusion on the adjacent wall of unit 1 for further action.
Excuse me, can you repeat the last one?
The
last one that you said, unit 1 with the immediate, can you repeat it?
Now we last meeting, Mark Antonio says that he have a leak that is going through his master bedroom closet that actually has some connection with the balcony on unit 3. There's a unit that is above, it's next to it. So we're gonna, Carlos is going to go there and assess if there's any crack that he can solve. But if anything, major that he cannot resolve, so probably we need to actually have a GC to take a look at it in order to waterproof or detain the water from penetrates on that particular area.
I would suggest, because that's exactly where the mansard is completely rotten, and that's exactly the area that is being replaced. I believe that maybe the cause of that was the mansard, which is right where the closet is.
In my understanding, or what I understand from unit 1, it was the balcony that actually has some sort of access
Connection. But it's right in that area between 1 and 2 that
and we need to understand from him if it's above or right at the bottom part of the closet.
So
I can answer that.
Okay.
So I had our engineer look at that, and basically based on the replacement of the mansard, that I think he thinks is going to resolve the issue with the water. What it was doing was coming down the parapet wall behind the parapet, which is concrete, and then hitting the master bedroom floor. That's resolved. What's not resolved is the horizontal crack that's on the downstairs laundry room. That's been there for 30 years, but just needs to be reopened and recaulked. But the upstairs leak should not be there anymore with the new mansard, if that answers the question.
My question from you was the balcony adjacent to your wall, the wall that is in between the
Yes.
balcony and your master closet. So I thought it was that corner, that gap, that there was
Yeah.
something going on. But if you say that
It
it's
was.
coming from above, so then
Well, what
it's
happened?
all-
What happened was that my master closet adjoins his balcony, so I
Yeah,
thought
I
it was
know.
coming from his balcony. But what it's coming
Okay.
from was from the mansard. The mansard was completely, as Alan showed you, like completely rotted. There was no wood, and water was getting inside there and then running down that wall. But on the
All right,
first
well-
floor, there's a horizontal crack that's about 6 feet long that was filled like 20 years ago, and it's reopened up, and I think that's part of your 50-year.
Okay, but we saw your wall and it was fixed completely, so we didn't take another look at it. But I mean, this Saturday, I told Carlos and Carlos didn't see anything. So now that we're gonna assess Unit 3, the balcony, again, to reassure that there's nothing that, like it's happening there, or at least do some waterproofing on that edge to cancel whatever water intrusion is coming from that, if there's any gap in there. And the one on the laundry. So please let us know or put a tape to highlight exactly where is the gap, because I passed, like I believe a few days ago, and I didn't see anything.
Okay. So the structural engineer refilled the columns, because as you know, the columns were completely hollow. They had metal, but no concrete. So he filled the columns, but the crack, it's a very minor crack. I'll just highlight it with some blue tape. It's really more to be done with the painting. I don't know that it's not structural. It's more of a cosmetic. So it
No, he
probably
have an
wouldn't-
elastomeric stucco that it will take care of it. So
That's exactly what was in there 20 years ago. So if that can be replaced, that would be helpful, because
Sure,
if
yeah.
water does, yes, okay, I'll mark it. Thank you.
All right. And regarding of the sunken patio, so it's still open, right? Or you already closed it?
Hang on. Thank you. Yeah, thank you on that. It's open, and it's going to be opened even further,
Okay,
because
so Carlos is going to be there on Saturday, and he's going to trying to fill as much as we can with the rocks. So he's gonna give me the estimate of how many bags do we need to buy in order
Okay.
to like get that filled and taken care of. So
Okay.
that will be as maintenance is concerned.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, obviously the number is wrong. Right now, the budget and all the countries. The meetings, we're gonna cover the remaining costs we're gonna have until the end of the year. It's as is. And so all of these costs, et cetera, will even reduce the money we have in the banks without any type of additional income. Because at the end of the day, we already have accounts receivables there. The other is already considered. Meaning that the delta is even bigger than those $6,000 difference.
One more. I see the payment full service send us another invoice for service, and now due to a hatch support replacement, the water collector, like the big hatch that is on the deck. So the arms were all completely, corroded, so it needed to be replaced, and the service was $385 and labor. So you already took care of that,
We
right?
took care of that. We sent with an invoice that we already paid. And I had that in my record, so I asked Oscar to confirm that was already paid. So we only paid the 385, everything else is on target. So right now we paid already the 385, yes. And by the way, today, me and Alan already signed the 2 checks to be delivered. So Robert, the checks were ready and gonna be given tomorrow, probably tomorrow.
I still sending.
All right, is that the maintenance updates?
Yes.
Okay, number 16, water usage report for November.
Okay, residential water consumption seemed to be back to normal in all units, however, there was a high water consumption in common areas after fixing and testing all the sprinklers, timers, and cleaning around the pool area. So that's why, like percent I spiked because, some of the sprinklers weren't running properly. So the grass was actually turning brown. And we checked with Carlos, with Ever, and that seems now that is working normal. That is all for the water consumption. I have another request for Unit 41. Unit 41 is requesting the use of the multipurpose room for private party on December 24th, early afternoon. They contact me for details, and I forward the rules and regulations to the unit owners. I also spoke with his daughter, which is the one that gonna have the party for her daughter or baby. And there is a security deposit fee, as you can see on the rules and regulation. I don't know if you have it on record. Here. Yes, here. I really want you guys to, understand rules and regulation, and there is a clear point, I believe it's point 10 or point 11 that says no pool party allowed. So that's gonna be a request that for me is gonna be a really hard decision to make because there's gonna be, multiple areas functioning, and I don't know if that's gonna be inconvenient to other users, other residents, when you have the party and then the pool open. First, circulation. How are you gonna manage to go from one end to the other? You have to pass or either through the gym or through this bathroom. So I still don't have many details of how the party is gonna be. I know it's gonna be earlier. It's gonna be like around 2 in the afternoon.
How many people?
It's going to be around 15 people. I say no more than 30 because we have a maximum allowance here on this room.
What's the maximum allowance?
It's 33 in this room. My fire department. Yeah. So from what I spot back, I trace back to 2017. The fee was $125, but $50 is for cleaning. But I mean, knowing that it's been, a long time ago, I think that I set up a fee like $200 and we take 50 or 80 for maintenance because I don't know if Carlos is going to be off that day, so bathrooms needs to be clean. Even though the unit owner has to pick up the place and leave it the same way it was, we need to make sure that this bathroom is clean and presentable for all the other unit owners. So I don't know if you guys are comfortable with this amount or you feel that it's not reasonable, we need to charge more, but this is sort of what I say to them, not confirming. I say, probably the fee is going to be around $200 for security deposit, but we need some money to pay someone to clean.
Okay, so the 200 is refundable security deposit.
Minus the cleaning. You give the 200 for security deposit, but then you need to actually get some money to pay somebody to clean the bathroom.
So basically from the 200, we deduct whatever.
We deduct whatever we feel that somebody would comfortable.
I think we need to follow what the rules and regulations say, whatever that amount is.
There is no rules and regulation, and that's what I actually say, Robert, from the very beginning on 2017, what Tracy was charging for the condominium was 125. We don't have anything. I don't know if you guys have something on the.
I remember seeing.
Because that needs to be increased, with the time. So from 125 to 200, I don't think that it's only 75. Minimum is $80. Nobody's gonna come here to clean those 2 bathrooms for less than $80. I say 250, but I mean it's up to.
Yeah,
Okay. I think it's reasonable. It's not. I think it's less.
I mean something.
But this is for in case they damage. I think we need to actually put ourselves into the context. If for some reason, something got missed, something got broken, so $200 is not gonna cover anything. So it probably would cost more to replace, but anyway, this is what, is implementing. And, I don't know that the fee kind of deviates too much from the original, so, So,
Maybe the 200 minus the deduction.
okay, if you read point 10 and point 11, they actually give you the idea of the party. It's the multi-purpose room. It's only to be reserved, and that is the only thing that the unit owner can enjoy. So he's asking me to enjoy the multiple purpose room and also the pool. It's sort of have a connection, eat here and then go to the pool. So we have the camera. I think this is something that we need to discuss because there's some point that you are not going to control, and I don't want any complaint from other unit owners saying that, like this space is taken over. So when you rent the clubhouse, it's the clubhouse only. If you want to have access to the pool, that's a different story. The rules and regulations says no pool parties allowed.
We're talking about 15 people and nobody's using the pool now in the winter anyways.
In no space, the other people invite out the wall. People invite.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm open, I don't say anything, but the thing is that we need to make sure and we need to be aware that circulation is going to be disrupted unless we actually tell them, to access from this bathroom back and forth. Okay.
Yeah.
And directly to the sauna and goes to the pool.
Yeah, I think that
Okay.
would be the best way.
Perfect. So all agree?
So they would have access to these in the pool and they go to the right side. Toilet. Robert, I think so hearing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So we make an amendment of the rules and regulation that we can actually, be flexible on pool party. The thing is that
Well,
what
I don't know if we're making an amendment to the official rules and regulations. That seems like that's taking it a step too far. I think it needs to be.
Well, we're being very flexible and not following the rules. So what is the purpose of have a rules in place if you are going to be flexible and violate it? Because this is a violation. Like it or not, this is it. Not follow it. No, because the point here is when we change the board and somebody wants to actually put in place the rules and say, well, but before they used to be, flexible and now it's not. So it's all depends. I'm not against anything. I just want to make sure that we can control and we can actually have, make sure that nobody's going to complain, oh, they left a lot of, things on the pool and blah, blah, blah. And then we're going to.
So are you making a motion that we change the rules and regulations to allow pool parties?
What I'm saying is that needs to be observed.
So is there any motion to be second?
Say that again.
So I was asking if there was any motion to be second. I think there's a motion. So what we right now is a $200.
Yes.
Refundable, taking out the money to clean the passive pool.
Okay, but we need to know how much is the cleaning fee. How much?
The cleaning thing.
No.
$80.
Okay.
$50 to $80. I don't know if you can come here to clean for $50.
I think at least $80.
I mean, can we even vote on changing the rules and regulations when it wasn't a agenda point?
If you want to reserve 200, if you're gonna spend $80, it means 120 that the page. There's already there. So if we really want to reserve, the reserve is if we are just.
Yeah, that's my thought, but I mean, following what I actually see in history, I think 200 is
Security deposit should be a check of $500. Which is they return and on top of
It's.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Oh, good, good. You know, I'm actually in the same set of mind, but yeah, fine.
so I think that makes sense.
Unless they break the rule and,
On 500 will seem reasonable
500 security deposit
in a legal way.
with a check, then we just.
And we need to actually read for that and put it on place because that could be, you know, like
okay,
the next setting for the management right now. So we need to, you know, put that in place.
so over here, shooting with 500 with $80 retained for cleaning, so 420 will be refunded unless there's something concrete. Why is-
Okay, so
I think
we're, I'm fine with any deposit. I thought Alfredo was making a motion to change the rules and regulations.
Okay.
No, there was, it's just a decision.
Okay.
Okay.
We're good.
So
Anything else?
who needs to communicate? You communicate?
Yeah, I will communicate with them and then I will make sure that they have the key. I think that they can still working with the FOB, but I'm just going to grant it the access with the key, the master key that I have for the bathroom towards the pool area. So.
Anything else? Congratulations.
Thank you
Alright.
for
Robert.
attending. It's great to have your engagement. As a reminder, our annual meeting is January 7th, which we will unveil the new board for 2025. You will receive the second notification of the annual meeting will be mailed no later than December 24th. You might receive it after that, but it will be mailed by December 24th. So thank you for your engagement, and we will see you at the next meeting. Have a great night.
Thank you. Good night.